Love is such a beautiful thing to experience, but exposing yourself to love also means exposing yourself to the chance of experiencing some quote and unquote negative or bad experiences. I put the negative and the bad in a quotation because sometimes we tend to throw some things into the bad basket that they don't really belong there. So far as the thing is making our life uncomfortable in the moment, is afflicting pains, be it emotional or physical pain, we term it as bad or negative, regardless of whether or not it's leading to a certain degree of progress in our life, be it in our character, in our finances, in our even career or fitness. We don't care so far as it's making life uncomfortable for us. We're miserable at the moment because of it, we term it as bad. And anything that makes life easy, we term it as good, even though it may be hindering our progress in life. It's making life comfortable, so we see it as easy. And to me, that's defeating the purpose of life. Because to me, one of the most important things in life is one growing into their best self. And so, whatever will stop you from growing into your best self is a bad thing or a negative thing, in my opinion. We can even extend this argument to the discussion where people say, why does God allow bad things to happen to good people? Sometimes those things we term as bad happening to good people may not necessarily be bad because they may be leading to a form of growth in that person's life or in another person's life. But because we don't always have access to the full picture, we cannot really understand everything. And that's why God even says that we should not lean on our own understanding. And so let me not digress too much, okay? Let's get back to this discussion. So you have exposed yourself or you have opened yourself to love. And somewhere along the way, you had a negative experience of heartbreak. Whether or not that your heartbreak was meant to serve a purpose or not, whether it was necessary or not, that's not what we're here to talk about. In today's video, today's episode of the podcast, we'll be discussing on how to get over it and heal from it. So let's get into the discussion. In today's day and age, there are so many people that are heartbroken, more than we can ever imagine, because we have different levels of commitment or lack of it thereof in this generation more than ever before. We have those that are suffering from talking stage heartbreak. And to me, it's one of the most terrible forms of heartbreak because nobody even knows that you're heartbroken because though you were not in a relationship, you are not in a relationship. So, girl, what do you mean that you're heartbroken? You cannot even share your feelings with your friends because there was no commitment. So we're going to talk about it. Okay. That's why we're here in this podcast to tackle all of those things that we cannot really tackle with the people around us. Things of heartbreak, matters of the heart. They can be so delicate and sometimes people around you can be so judgmental. So I hope this is a safe space for you to learn something and get some tools into your toolbox to help you fix that heartbreak or that broken heart. So those suffering from talking stage heartbreak, those suffering from situationship heartbreak, there are those suffering from normal relationship heartbreak, there are those suffering from on again, off again kind of relationship heartbreak, and then we have divorced people. I'm not going to really talk so much about divorce because I don't have so much to talk about it. I don't know about divorce that much for me to really talk about it, but you can still stick around if you are in that category because there's something about heartbreak that we can all find relatable. And if what I'm sharing is going to help someone heal their heartbreak, then you can definitely pick one or two from that thing that I'm sharing, and it's going to help you even in your divorce. And so let's get into it. The general advice I'm going to give to anybody going through heartbreak is that, first of all, you need to know that that person was in your life, and so there was a space they were feeling. Now that they are no longer in your life, that space is vacant. And so far as you don't fill up that space, you're going to always miss them. Let's say the person always calls you in the evening time, and now evening is approaching. They're not going to call you because though you've broken up, right? And once that evening time comes, you're going to miss them because that is your routine for some months now. You're always hearing from them. at that particular time, and now they're no longer calling you and you have nothing to do at that time, you will start missing them, and that's when the heartbreak will hurt the most. And so my number one advice and general advice across all board is that replace that gap they left with something. Definitely not another relationship for now, and definitely not a talking stage, because that's what some people tend to do. No talking stage, no relationship for now. Fill it with something that adds value to your life, be it taking yourself out here. It's evening, you can just take yourself out and you mustn't spend money. You can just go out, explore, have fun, look around, look at people that are having fun. Yeah, even if you can't have fun, just look around, move around, let the breeze blow you and receive fresh air so that you can clear your head. Or you can just start learning something. If you're a Christian, you can go to your church choir. Most times they rehearse in the evening, and so you can join them and you'll be creating value to yourself and to your church. And what else can you do? You can visit your friends. It's evening time, they're back from work. You can hang out. Those people that you've not been visiting them because you're in a relationship, you were booed up. Now it's time to compensate and start hanging out with them. Just shall look for something to fill up that space. It can even be exercise, and I really recommend that exercise part because it's not just filling the space, the emptiness, the void. It's also helping you get into a better mood because endorphins will be released when you exercise, and that's exactly what you need. You need to be in an elevated mood. So exercise, exercise, exercise. Fill up that space with exercise and you're gonna love it. You're gonna be hotter and better. Your mood is gonna be up there and it's gonna be their loss, okay? So exercise, that's a general advice across all board. So now my second advice is name it exactly what it is. Yes, name that heartbreak exactly what it is. And what it is it is a withdrawal period. Human beings, human body is designed in a way that it can get addicted to things that are nice, that are pleasurable. Their presence in your life was pleasurable to you. Now that they're no longer there, you're going through a withdrawal phase. Whatever you're feeling, this heartbreak that you're feeling is a withdrawal syndrome. Label it as such. It's very important to label things correctly so that you can be able to handle them correctly without going about the bush. So know that it's a withdrawal phase and treat it as such. Don't think as if there's something wrong with you or there's something too special about them. That's why you're heartbroken. It is part of what your body does. Your body gets addicted to nice things and pleasurable experiences. And so whenever you are taking yourself away from that thing that used to bring you pleasure, your body is always going to like try to take you back to it. Now is the time for you to separate yourself and know that, okay, this is my body and there is the real me, like the consciousness, which is the real me. And now is the time for your consciousness to really put their foot on the ground and say, we are no longer going back to that situation. You will now have to pull up all the receipts because trust me, they can't be all that perfect. One thing your brain, your body will do is that it will bring out the highlight reels. Whenever you're trying to remember them, whenever you're feeling moody, you're missing them, your body will bring out, your brain will bring up all the highlight reel, the beautiful highlight reel. Now it's time for your consciousness to be like, let's have a meeting. I have the receipt. This person is not all that perfect. There were times that in the relationship things were rocky. I'm going to label it out. These are some of the negative things that I experienced in the relationship, and that's what led to this breakup. These are the person's flaws. Pull them out because, my dear, at this point, you need to hold on to those flaws because it is those flaws that will help you get through that heartbreak. You feel like you're missing out on the good things that they have brought into your life, but they were not all that perfect. Heartbreak is basically you mourning your past, mourning the fact that it's no longer a part of your present and it's not going to be a part of your future. But what if that past is not something you even want in your present, talk more of your future? So hold on to those their flaws. I know. hold on to those their flaws to make you realize that this is something you don't want in your present, and you are definitely okay with it not being in your future. That will help you overcome the heartbreak better and faster. It will help you heal because you seeing them as perfect and all of that, you keep on missing them. Your body will keep on pushing you to want to go back to them, and you mourn the fact that they're no longer in your life even the more, but realizing that they're not that perfect and it's a good thing they're no longer present in your life and they're not going to be in your future. Something better is coming. That will be a ray of sunshine and a glimpse of hope that will help you overcome this phase in life. And this brings me to the reason why I said talking stage heartbreak is one of the hardest, in my opinion, because you don't have the receipts to pull out. This advice that I've just given is for those that have been in a relationship with someone and they know the person's flaws, and they have got to like see the person finish to some, even to some degree. You've seen the person finish, and so you know their strengths, you know their weaknesses, and so you can be able to hold on to those weaknesses and make yourself realize that you're not really missing out on much. But now you're in the talking stage, heartbreak situationship. You don't really know the person's flaws like that. You don't really know the person like that. All you have is your fantasy in your head, the what could be and what will be that never became. And so now your heartbreak, ugh, there's no much data to pull on and hold on to. So that's why I'm even saying you're in this problem because we as a generation have decided to put labels on nothing. There's a label on this mic because it is something. But when there's nothing, you're putting a label on it, then now that's what we're here in this confusion in the first place. But that doesn't mean that your case is hopeless. Okay. The fact that you are no longer still in that talking stage, the fact that you did not graduate from that talking stage to another stage, be it dating, relationship, courtship, or whatever, is a pointer to the fact that that person is not all that suitable for you, because attention they used to give to you, they're no longer giving you. And someone once said that attention cannot be destroyed, it can only shift from one person to another. So the attention they were giving you, they're no longer giving it to you because they've shifted it to another person or another thing. Because trust me, a lot of people are just bored, especially guys. That's one thing I've come to realize. A lot of guys are bored. And you will think that there are so many social media platforms and so they have a lot to keep themselves busy with and entertain with. But apparently, social media cannot replace human to human interaction. And so they fill up those bored moments of their lives with talking stages. Yes, stages. Because most likely you're not the only person he's talking to. His life is that bored that only you cannot fill up the empty spaces in his life. And so he's talking to multiple people. And it depends on who is the newest among you guys, most of the times, because the newer, the more exciting. And they are looking for excitement because they are looking for something to clear their boredom. And so excitement is the key. New person comes with new excitement, with higher and greater level of excitement. So the longer your talking stage lasts, the less exciting you are to him. And so you're not really serving your purpose. And so it's better he just lets you go and recruit a new person that will bring more excitement to his life. It's not just guys. Ladies too do the same thing. People are bored these days and people use people to just fill up their bored spaces. Go out and hang out with your friends. If that's the case, please stop putting people in this situation of talking stage heartbreak. Like, though, what's the meaning of this? We have more people with heartbreak, and if people are hot people, hot people. And so now we are creating a society with more and more hot people. More people are heartbroken than ever before. What do you expect that will be happening in the relationship scene? And my advice is, so you that he's no longer talking to you, that talking stage has ended. Know that he's not all that perfect. I know you don't have much to pull out from his character and be like, this person is not that perfect. I should just forget about it. I'm not missing out on much. But the fact that he wasn't able to continue showering you with the attention, or for the fact that he wasn't able to make a decision that you both should move into a relationship is a flaw. If you look at it, it is indeed a flaw. You don't want to be with someone that will be wasting your time. You don't want to be with someone that's just using you to fill up the boredom in his life. He should go and fix his life and get his life in order, not trying to use you to fill up space. Because had it mean he was serious about you, he would have started dating you, but he's just trying to fill up the space in his life. And that is a flaw. And I think you should really hold on to that. And my advice to those in this kind of situation is that please stop doing talking stage with people that you know, apart from you having any romantic interest in them, you have no business and no interest in talking to them. This person, you know that had it been you're not romantically attracted to the person, you have no business and no reason to talk to them. Please don't start that talking stage with that person. That's my advice. I've written a book titled Single, Thriving and Secure. There's a chapter that I named They Are Also Humans. See these people as human beings. Your talking stage is a human being. So whether or not it graduates into a relationship or not, don't really put your hopes so high. You're just talking to another human being, you're getting to know another human being. I think that's a mentality that will help you not to be so heartbroken, because at some point you feel like you've wasted your time talking to this person. But when you see that you're just talking to another human being, you're getting to know another human being, and possibly it's not just relationship that will come out of it. As human beings, when we interact with each other, value tends to come out. When you're interacting with the right people, you create value. You can come up with business ideas. They can support you in future businesses, or in the future, you don't just know what can happen. We're human beings, we're social beings. We cannot thrive alone. This is another extra human being you're adding to your cycle. So just make sure there is someone that, even without a romantic interest, you have a reason to still talk to them. Is someone that you can still talk to, like whether or not you guys date. There's value to be gained there. That's something to watch out for. Don't just jump into every talking stage that comes your way. Analyze, is this going to be a total waste of my time if this doesn't lead to a relationship? It's something to consider. I think it will help you to not be so heartbroken when it doesn't end up in a relationship, because it wasn't a total waste of time. Value was still gained. And my book is available on Amazon, even though I may not get the payments for now because I don't know what's wrong with Amazon. When I was uploading the book, did not put any hurdle. But now that people are buying it, all of a sudden they are saying that I need to authenticate my identity. I was ready to do that. I was ready, but only for me to realize that Nigeria is not listed among the countries to do the authentication. My ID card is a Nigerian ID card. So how on earth do you expect me to authenticate my identity if Nigeria is not on the list? But anyway, whether I get the payment or not, please, if you want to get the book, go out and get the book on Amazon, Single, Thriving and Secure by Blessing Wash. I believe it's going to be of help to you if you're someone that's struggling with the single phase and you need a sister, someone to hold your hands. I believe I will be that for you through that book. Now back to our discussion. The next people I want to address is those that I feel like, my heart really goes out to you. Your heartbreak is from a relationship that you were very sure that God has co-signed it. You heard a definite yes from God. You believe that God told you this is a right fit for you. Before going into the relationship, you had that voice. After entering into the relationship, you got the confirmation that yes, this person is a right fit for you. As a matter of fact, maybe one or two people outside also confirmed it, and all of a sudden you guys have broken up. Like, how can you overcome this? Like, were you hallucinating? This thing can even cost someone their faith, because like some people will start believing that maybe there's no God, because maybe all this while what they were thinking was God was just their inner thoughts. It was just a normal dream. People were just saying what they wanted to say because of what they see outwardly, but maybe you just start questioning your faith. It's not just your heart that ends up getting broken. Your faith can also be shattered. And even if it doesn't cost you your faith entirely, but that level of trust in God may not be there. Your faith and your relationship with God may not be as strong as before again. I am here to tell you that one thing that most times we get wrong is that we assume God saying this person is a right fit for you means this person is the one. The one is a definite article, the. A right fit is an indefinite article, uh. I'm not an English teacher, but I think I know definite and indefinite articles, and I believe you also know. And so the one is a definite article. So if a right fit for you, you end up marrying that person becomes the one. But so long as you're not married to that person, he's just a right fit. A right fit is an indefinite article. At this point, he's a right fit because he's working with God and God has co-signed him that yes, based on the plan and purpose that his life is meant to achieve is in line with the purpose and plan for your own life, and so you guys are a right fit. You're working in line with God's plan. But God doesn't even force us to be in a relationship with him. How do we expect him to force us to be in a relationship with another person? Life can happen and this person that is in a relationship with God may no longer be in relationship with him, and at that point that person will no longer be a right fit for you. He was a right fit for you at the beginning, but maybe something happened along the line. Maybe he is now thinking of how to start dating up so that he can be able to overcome this financial struggle that he's in. That's not him trusting in God. That's not him working with God. That's him working on his own. And God will not force us to be in a relationship with him. And that means that's your suitable life partner, that your right fit and become a wrong fit once he deviates from his relationship with God, because his relationship with God was the basis of him being a right fit for you in the first place. If he loves God, he can be able to learn to love you. If he loves God, God will guide him on how to love you right, and God will also guide you on how to love him right. But now that he has walked out of that relationship with God, God is not going to force him to be in a relationship with him, and God is not going to force him to be in a relationship with you. But we expect God to force us on them. Like, no, we always have a choice. God gave us free will. Yes, he's invested in the relationship. He wants it to work, but he cannot force it on us. And if that person is working out based on maybe societal pressure, peer pressure, because now there's a certain body that is trending and maybe you don't have that body. And because he wants to be hyped up by his colleagues that he has backed up a girl with all the body features that is in vogue now, he may leave you and go for such a girl. But that's him following flesh and his ego. And God will not force him. Don't expect God to force him, because that's what is making you to cry this much. That's what is bringing this confusion to you. Just know that God cannot force himself on us, neither can he force us on another person, neither can he force another person on us. And I've heard cases where some people, they don't really want to marry someone, but people say that this is the man for you. Like a man of God will come and say, this is the man for you, you must marry him. If you don't marry this person, you're marrying wrong. God himself cannot force a man on you. Even if he is saying this person is a suitable partner, he's not going to force it. There's a part for God to play, there's a part for us to play, and it takes two, right? Can two work together unless they agree? It not say unless God joins them together. Can two work together unless they agree? You have agreed to work with God and allow God to lead you. That person might have been in that agreement, but along the line, they are no longer in that agreement. They are no longer a suitable fit for you, and God cannot force them. Don't be angry with God. And God will never run out of resources. Just as how that person was a suitable fit for you, there's another suitable fit for you. And that's why it's very important for us to not just pray that God bring a suitable life partner to me. Most times we pray that prayer, but we forget after he brings them, it's important for them to keep on being suitable. It's important for them to keep on working with him. And so we need to pray for their salvation, for their friend groups. It's not just their finances, because we keep praying, God, establish my husband, because most people are still single because the person they're dating is broke. They cannot afford to start a family. And so you just pray for financial blessings and all. Their spiritual growth is also important. Just because they are in right standing with God now doesn't mean that they will continue like that. They need your prayers, you need their prayers, and also it's not just your prayers alone, they also have their own part to play. Everybody has their part to play. And so basically, this is my word for you. Understanding is what you need. And God says that you should not lean on your own understanding because you don't know all the nuances to this. We don't know the full picture. It is God that knows what's happening in that other person's life and what's happening in your life. And for Him to not make it happen that you guys end up marrying is for a good reason. Marriage was created by God and it's a gift that He gives to His people. If He chooses to not give it to you, there's a reason behind it, because He says that His blessings make it rich and they add no sorrow. If that marriage is going to bring sorrow to your life, He's not going to bring it your way. And for Him to allow that person to walk out of your life to break up with you is because He knows that possibly something has shifted. Something that was okay has now become not okay, and He's not going to just put that by the side, push that aside, and just still allow you people to marry. And so, in order for you to overcome this heartbreak, you need a mental shift. You need to learn to just trust God, even when it defies your understanding, because it was based on your understanding that God has co-signed the relationship. Now, you don't understand that something that God has co-signed is no longer working. Still, do not lean on your own understanding, because you don't know all that there is to be known. God is the all-knowing God. And someone that doesn't believe in God be like, this is the most foolish thing ever. Yeah. Just as how someone that has never opened their heart to love will be like, why are you trusting this stranger? That is foolishness. But we all know that for love to happen, you have to trust someone. So you have to trust God. Everything that He's doing mustn't make sense to you, but you trust Him regardless. Just as how you would trust someone that you're in a relationship with. You don't know them all, you don't know what they're up to entirely, but you trust them even with your life at some point. Because marrying someone, sleeping next to them, you're unconscious, they are right by your side, they can do anything, but you choose to still sleep next to them because you know that they're not going to harm you. You're trusting them with your life, and you don't know everything they're thinking about. But love cannot just exist without trust. And so, learn to trust God, and He has the best in store for you. I hope this helps. On this topic of trust, that leads me to the next set of people, those that are in on again, off again kind of heartbreak situationship. Like, okay, I know we're all different, but I feel like there is no reason to give someone a third chance. You can give them a second chance, no doubt, but definitely not a third chance, in my opinion. Seriously, because as I just said, love is all about trust. How can you date someone for the first time and it doesn't work, and you give them another chance and it doesn't work, and you still trust them with a third chance? Like that third chance, your heart will not be really there, because you're definitely gonna have trust issues at that point. And if you're gonna have trust issues, you might as well not just be there. For some people, the trust issues is at the first stage. Like you're getting to know this stranger, he is a stranger. The first time you meet, he's a stranger. And so you're guarded up. But along the line, the relationship doesn't work, it ends. And then he comes back again or she comes back again. And maybe for one reason or two, you give them another chance. Possibly this time around, your guards will be a little bit down. I know for some people, the guards will be up. For some people, it will be down. Put different people in the same situation, their response is going to be different. And so some people, the guards will be down because this time around, he's no longer a stranger. There's level of familiarity. You guys are like a little bit like friends. And so there may be trust, like you want this time around, you want it to work. Like the last time it did not work, for you to even give it a second chance, you really want it to work. So you're going to put in your all. Maybe it's because that time you were halfway, like you were not so sure. That's why it did not work. This time around, you're ready to give it your all. And so you trust wholeheartedly, you give it your all, you're all in, and then it doesn't work again. There's no need to give it a third try, because at that point, you're definitely not going to give it your all. And if you giving it your all, it not end up well, you not giving it your all will definitely not end up well. Like the odds are now higher. But for some people, the first time they'll just go all in, they're all in love, love at first sight or whatever. They give it all and it doesn't work. Second time when the person comes, well, just because before you were not a suitable fit for each other does not mean that now you cannot be a suitable fit, because maybe someone among you has grown. And so it's worth giving it a try. You can give it a second shot, but giving another person a second shot and them still messing up or it's still not working out, you guys are still not a match. I don't think the third time you come again, you guys are going to be a match, because, as I said, trust will definitely be the trust will be shaken, and there's no love without trust. Love doesn't exist in isolation. That's a major thing we've forgotten in this generation. I made a video about it where I talked about how love comes in a package. Original full love comes in a package. It doesn't come bare. Like, the packaging is original, and that is true love. It comes in a package of self-control, gentleness, faithfulness, patience, kindness, peace, joy, and then you find love. I hope I've not missed any. If you're someone that studies your Bible, you know that I've just mentioned the fruit of the Spirit. Yes, it's one fruit. Love is the seed. Fruits don't just come seed like that. No, there's the skin, there's the juicy part, there's the layer, hard layer covering the seed, and then there's the real seed. So in love, love is the seed. It's covered by joy, peace, and the last layer, which is the skin, is self-control. A lot of people lack self-control. In first dates, they're doing whatever, and it is true love you're looking for. Let me not just get into that, but you have a gist of what I'm talking about. Love doesn't exist in isolation. Trust comes with the package as well. So if you are in an on again, off again relationship, just know that always just make sure that you're in a relationship with someone that even when it doesn't end up in marriage, it wouldn't have been a total waste of your time. Like, there's value being made as a result of you guys interacting with each other. That's why it's even important to take sex out of it, so that you can be able to have great moments together, that you'll be creating value, so that whether or not it ends up in a relationship, you will not be super heartbroken. But right now you are super heartbroken, so what should you do? This person is obviously not a suitable fit for your life, so why are you mourning the fact that they are not in your life? Possibly maybe you're mourning the fact that you've wasted all these years. Okay, so now stop wasting the years. It's time to stop wasting it, because as you're sitting and mourning over that fact, time is going. It is time that you're still wasting. The precious time that you're mourning that you've wasted is the time that you're wasting. Cheer up. Know that you're going to make better decisions from now, because sometimes we go through these things for us to learn lessons. Like in the case of Samson, even the fact that he was interested in Philistine ladies instead of Israelite ladies was co-signed by God, because God was looking for an occasion to deal with them. And so God allowing you to really go into that relationship, come out and go back again, just look at it and see the lessons you can pick from that situation, that whole period you spent with them, so that it won't be a total waste of your time. And when you know that it served a purpose, then it will help you move on. Go on with your life and do great things and great exploits, and make good use of your time, and you no longer waste it. Learn to be comfortable in your own company, and always look for ways to add value to your life as you are still single, thriving, and secure. We have different forms of heartbreak. I may not have called your specific type, your specific class, but I believe there's something you've learned from this conversation. And the thing is, how can we even avoid unnecessary heartbreaks? It's very important. Yes, we've talked about how to overcome the heartbreak, but how can we even avoid it? I'll just list out some few things for you that can be of help, so that next relationship you're entering into is not going to put you back into this situation that you're coming out of. And so my advice is, do not go in so fast. Like, you're meeting this person, they're nice. Yes, put in the back of your mind that they're humans. Yes, it's good that you're interacting with another new human. Value can be created. It mustn't be marriage. And so your heart will not be too, like, you're just thinking about romance. No. Your conversations will be taking different shapes and forms, trying to see how value can come out of this your situation. The fact that God has brought them into your life is for a reason, and you want to tap out all the value that can be derived from that meeting. And so also, as you're communicating with them, try and avoid sharing your traumas with them quite early on. Like, don't be too vulnerable. Allow trust to build over time. Allow life to test them. Don't go about testing them yourself, because there are people that do that. You're not the devil. You're not the tester. Okay. Allow life to test them by itself. It will definitely do. And then watch out and see, is this person trustworthy? Can I be able to trust them with my heart? Don't just fall completely like that. Give it time, and time will definitely reveal a lot. Even if they're pretending they have their guards up, time will always reveal. Do not be desperate, guys, because it's desperation that will make you to just go in from 0 to 100 at once. You want it to really work, and you want it to work fast. You want to be married in the next 6 months. Be okay, be calm, be chilled, observe, so that you'll be able to know whether this person is someone you can trust with your life, with your heart, with your secrets, with your emotions, and all of that. Can they handle it? Are they mature? Are they a suitable fit or not? That will save you heartbreaks. If you implement all of these things that I've said, I believe it will definitely save you a lot of heartbreaks. And if there's any other tip you've learned from your life experience on how to overcome heartbreak in this particular day and age, please share with us in the comment section. And if you have reached this level of the video, I am super grateful. I appreciate this attention that you have paid to this video, and please give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it or if you've learned something from it, and share it with someone that will find this helpful, so that it will motivate me to keep on bringing videos like this, because growth is a motivation. And let not be as if I'm pouring water into a basket. Please support your girl by subscribing to the channel. And until next time, why only succeed when you can thrive? Auf Wiedersehen!